Hello friends, my name is TSCHERKASSKY. I've created the film Train Again, which is a found footage film and which was made in the dark room. As all of my films since 1997, starting with L'Arrivée, which is my first train film, and the title Train Again refers to that film from 1997, L'Arrivée. L'Arrivée was an homage to the Lumières, Brother Lumières, and you might consider Train Again also as a homage to the Lumières. Also, it refers to Tree Again, by Kurt Grenz, the famous, more or less famous Austrian filmmaker who invented serial cinema along with Peter Kubelka. Well, anyway, in the dark room, what I do is I take raw footage, 1 meter, and on top of that raw footage comes the found footage, which is then hand printed frame by frame with different light sources, mainly tiny little flashlights, sometimes a laser pointer, sometimes a photographic enlarger, which serves solely as a light source in that case, but all along down to lighters where I use fire to create my exposures. Again, frame by frame. Once that is done, 1 meter, I hand process that meter on a table right next to my workstation. And after hand processing that meter, I double check on the light table to see if something has went wrong, or if it's okay, just the way I wanted it to be. So that usually takes 2 years. In the case of Train Again, it was always 3 years, with the exception of summertime. In summertime, I do not work in the dark room, but I start in October and end in late May, early June, depending on temperature, depending on weather. It's an extremely labor-intensive work. As you can imagine, it takes a lot of time, and not just doing it, but thinking about what will be the next step. So the story itself unfolds during the process of making the film. Also, I do have a rough concept before I start working in the case. In the case of Train Again, I used, I think, 22 different films, many historical avant-garde films, but also early cinema, regular early cinema from the very early 20th century, and tried to create kind of a landscape. So the train ride takes place through that landscape, and we watch all those wonderful films that have been created in the early days of cinematography. So it is an homage to the Lumières, it is an homage to Kurt Grenz, and it is an homage to classical analog cinema, as we know it, as we love it, and as it's going to vanish sooner or later. But as long as analog footage is available, I will continue my work on analog cinema. I hope you enjoy the film and wish you a nice festival. Bye-bye.